Hey, how's it going? It's going, huh? Yeah, it's going. Absolutely. Um, wow. I find myself at a loss for words because about a week ago we was in some nice 70-degree weather, and it's cold as hell out there today. But hey, for a couple more days, it's still winter. So, yeah, there you go. It is what it is. Unfortunately, ain't nothing I could do about that as much as I would love to. There's nothing I could do about that. I was love to change places with a warmer place right about now. Hey, what's happening, man? How's it going? Uh, it is man, it's cold. It was snowing, crazy looking out there, all sorts of shit out there. I don't want to have nothing to do with that, so I stayed in the house. Well, hey, this evening, uh, when we get around to it, first of all, I got a question for you before we get going, cause this internet is just insane. The internet is insane. It's just crazy. But once we get going, one thing I want to discuss is bugging out versus bugging in. Okay, we'll get into the political stuff, I guess, in some form or fashion. We'll get into that. Hey, Charles, how's it going? Uh, you fellas, I'm glad you two is here because somebody tell me what's wrong with these people. It's some folks on the internet that's just insane. Somebody tell me just what the hell is this shit right here? Just what the hell is that? Just what the hell is that? This what we doing now? Really? This where we are now? Huh? This is 2026. Huh? This what you got for me? 2026. This what you got for me? Tell you what. Could somebody hook me up some 1974, please? I take a little 1974, 1973. Could somebody hook me up some of that? This 2026. I got no taste for it. Well, anywho, to start this evening off again, to restart this evening, uh, say look like AI. I tell you what, you know what? You might be right, Charles. You might be absolutely right. I don't. I do not doubt it, considering there is so much AI going on today that it is absolutely amazing. I tell you what, that AI thing, that's bad news. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I'm saying it right here today. The same way I said it when they came out with HBO. When HBO was born, cable TV, I said that is not good. That's going to be terrible. The next thing I predicted, that was going to be terrible was personal computers and the internet. I said it the minute it hit the airwaves, personal computers and the internet. It's gonna be it. That's gonna mess up our society. I'm saying it here. AI might be strike three, y'all. AI might be strike three, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's bad. Uh, it is what it is. On a lighter note, early today, and I'm gonna be bouncing around today on different subjects today. I'm just all over the place today. On a lighter note, this morning, Adam Mockler. I don't know who, if you all remember Adam Mockler. There's three guys out there, three young guys out there that just trips my trigger out on the internet. There's Adam Mockler. There's Sisson. What's his name? Last name Sisson. I can't think of his first name. Uh, uh, and man, now their names are escaping me. Godly. Um, man, I can't get the names. Senior moment again. Anyway, these cats out here, they tearing MAGA up, they tearing Trump up, they wearing them out. But earlier today, Adam Mockler was just reading the posts of the MAGA world podcasters going after each other this morning. They were ripping each other apart this morning. Here's some of the posts that, as he read them, here's some of the posts and what they had to say. Hey, Carmen, how you doing? Here's some of the posts that was out this morning, back and forth between the MAGA sphere. And hey, James, that woman you was asking me about yesterday, that was Megyn Kelly. Anyway, check this out.
Not to laugh at how dumb these people are. Poor Megyn Kelly, an emotionally unhinged, lewd, and petulant wreck. She's completely revealed and destroyed herself. She's everything people say she is, but much worse. Never an intelligent, thoughtful, or substantive comment. Utterly toxic. So then Megyn Kelly comes in from the top rope and pulls no punches. She says, "Micro penis Mark at Mark Levin Show thinks he has the monopoly on lewd. He tweets about me obsessively in the crudest, nastiest terms possible. Literally more than some stalkers I've had arrested. He doesn't like it when women like me fight back because of his micro penis." Wow. Megyn Kelly then doubles down this morning at 5 a.m. and says, "Micro penis at Mark Levin Show is such a small man. He had to go beg the president for a pat on the head in the middle of the war to make himself feel better about, well, you know." And we're going to show you the Trump tweet in 1 second, but it's not crazy. Is it not absurd that the president of the United States, amidst a war that he started, is defending his friend from micro penis allegations? We're joking here, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene then pops out this morning and says, "I wholeheartedly support Megyn Kelly telling the world that Mark Levin has a micro penis." Okay, why are they saying this with so much certainty? What the hell? MAGA destroyed by micro penis Mark Levin. I've said those words too much over the past 10 minutes.
Hey, Lisa, how you doing? So that's early this morning. When I got up about 6 o'clock, that's what's going on this morning. Megyn Kelly and Mark Levin. Mark Levin is the psycho Jewish Trump supporter who is keying up on all of the Trump supporters who are abandoning ship. Megyn Kelly, she jumps head over heels on Mark Levin and about his micro penis. That's funny. Then Marjorie Taylor Greene, she chimes in about his micro penis. And apparently You know, somebody knows something that somebody else don't know. They wearing each other out. Now that those are the ex-supporters battling the supporters. That's that civil war that I was talking about inside the supporters behind Trump. That's that group, okay, that I was telling you. Our best bet, our best chance to be done with this administration is if the cracks happen in the support base. And I was absolutely right about it. They are cracking up. Tearing each other down, tearing each other limb from limb. And they going after this guy in the White House well, like he stole something. This is wonderful, okay? This is absolutely magnificent. I'm loving it. 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 It is wonderful. It is wonderful. Um, I'm going to encourage them to keep battling it out amongst themselves. Just keep battling it out. Keep battling it out. I am going to go over a few things, but since some of y'all just came in, I'm gonna be talking about bugging out and bugging in a little while, because somebody brought it to my attention that there are a lot of people who hear the term bugging out and are concerned because they may not be in a position to bug out. So I'm gonna make some stuff clear about bugging out and bugging in. That is there's some levels of each of those. So I'm gonna make some stuff clear on that tip, and you know, discuss some of that. Also, right quick, I want to discuss old Pete Hegseth. Old Pete Hegseth, he was doing press conference. He was doing a press conference, and during this press conference, this guy, I'm gonna play this clip. Pay attention. This is supposed to be the guy that's in charge of our entire military. Pete Hegseth. And remember, like I said a little while ago, I'm going to be all over the place this evening because there's so many things bouncing around other than this war. Other than this war, there's all sorts of stuff. We got people running for primary. This is primary season. This is very important. This is primary season and people need to pay attention. We're going to hit on that here in a second. Pete Hegseth. This is Pete Hegseth at a conference being asked questions. Listen to the answers and remind yourself that this is supposed to be the guy that is running the entire military. Check it out.
Ingersoll, One America News. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Strait of Hormuz and when it might be fully operational again? And how do we ensure our objective of denying Iran a nuclear weapon if they continue to align with our adversaries?
So I'll take it and chime in, Mr. Chairman, if you'd like it all. I want to emphasize what the chairman said about that. The only thing prohibiting transit in the Straits right now is Iran shooting at shipping. It is.
Did you catch that?
Open for transit should Iran not do that.
Green jacket.
The Strait of Hormuz is open right now. The only problem is Iran is shooting. Well, that's a big goddamn problem, ain't it? You know, if they wouldn't shoot, there'd be no problem in the Strait of Hormuz. The only problem with ships going through the Strait of Hormuz is Iran keeps shooting. That's the only problem. If they just stop shooting, everybody be cool. Wait, what? Now, he's about to be asked, how many casualties are there? Now, remember, I told y'all, they lied to us about the casualties. He's about to be asked, how many casualties are there? Listen to the answer. Listen to the question. Listen to the answer.
Mike Bress with the Washington Examiner. How many American casualties have there been, and where were the American service members when they were injured?
I mean, it's a bunch of return to duty. So we've had the large majority have gone in for some medical treatment and return to duty. We've had in Kuwait, Jordan, down across the southern flank a little bit, a variety of places, most from one-way attack strikes.
But I want to clarify that. I think what we've
And
tried to do
Saudi
here
Arabia.
is clarify those numbers rather than saying KIA or WIA wounded. Be more clear about that because the overwhelming majority, almost 90%, thank God, are returned to duty. Minor injuries returned to duty, and so that number can look a certain way, and our job is to add some fidelity to it. Absolutely, right here.
Did anybody hear a number? Did anybody hear a number? How many casualties are there, and where were they? Now, we heard the overwhelming majority of them are back to work. Overwhelming majority? Overwhelming majority? How many were there? 90% are back to work, 10%. And we want to clarify those numbers. I mean, you know, they're not telling us the information. These people are not serious. These people are not qualified for this job. Not one number. Didn't give not one number. Now, they talked about percentages, and overwhelming majority of the numbers are going back to work. Overwhelming majority? Overwhelming majority suggests to me that quite a few people got hurt. No numbers, though. We ain't give you no numbers. And put a pin in that point right there, because that's going to be an important point I'm going to go over when I'm talking about the bugging in and bugging out. Okay? Put a pin in that. Information is important. These people are lying to us on a daily basis. I said it last week. If you turn on the news, you're listening to the same thing you heard last week. If you turn on the news today, you're hearing the same thing you heard last week. other than one interesting fact. There's one different tidbit that's happening today that, you know, of course it had to happen. This administration has had to ask for help. They've literally asked all of the nations around NATO and every place else, please help us out over here. These people had to call Zelensky in Ukraine and have Zelensky send people to help out with some of these issues. These people opened up the sea lanes for Russian oil to be sold because, heaven forbid, Putin have to suffer. These people, this is a big farce. This is just a big shit show going on. And you will know that because listening to the news every day, the network news, you're going to get the same story you got last week and the week before last. How long is it going to take for the war? What are they doing? You know. No country is stepping up. They like, hey, this is, you got this, Bubba. You put your foot in this turd, doggone it. Now you walk around in it. You know. But the gall, he spent all that time talking shit to all these people. Why are they hiding the numbers? Well, they're hiding the numbers because the war is illegal. That's number one. This war is illegal. And two, they don't want their supporters to know how many people are getting hurt in a war that shouldn't be happening in the first place. He said the war was already won. Yeah. Well, he said we already won, but then he said most people feel like we won. And then Pete Hegseth said it's just the beginning. But then he was asked, well, is it just the beginning or did we win? And he said, well, it's both. So that's kind of where we are. It's both right now. We won and it's just the beginning. This is to bring you up to speed, you know. So if anybody asks you, you can tell them we won, but it's just the beginning. Okay? It's just an excursion. It's an excursion from the beginning that we won. Yeah, like that. An excursion. It's just an excursion from all that winning that we was already doing. See, we was doing a lot of winning. Then we took this excursion from the winning, and it's like just the beginning. But we won. All right, that's what's going on right now. All right, keep up now. Keep up. You can't make this shit up. Well, you can't make it up as fast as he can. He can make this shit up. He can make this shit up faster than a cat can lick his own ass. But, you know, we can't make it up. Sorry about that. This shit is funny as hell sometimes. The stuff, listening to this guy talk sometimes, you're like, huh? Sorry about that. You know, I get carried away when I think about that dude sometimes. Oh, boy, I tell you. Okay. I'm going to get off of that for a second. Let's get off of that for a second and get on some stuff that's really important. Let's get on something that's important. This is important. It is primary time It is primary time. There are people voting tomorrow in Illinois and across, the nation and other places, but there's different primaries at different times. Here in Indiana, it's like May 5th, I believe it is. It's tomorrow in Illinois. So this is important. The primary season is very important. Understand that. The primary season is important because that is when you elect your candidate, and I'm assuming you are either a Democrat or an independent if you're watching this right here. Now, there have been some Republicans get on here, and if you are a Republican, the primary is where you elect the guy that you want to run against the opposition. Okay? The primary is the election. The primary election is the election where, let's say, you want to send somebody to the House of Representatives, and let's say you're a Democrat, and there are 3 Democrats that want to be your representative. The primary is the election by which you elect the Democrat that you want to send up against the Republican. Because there's going to be a Republican running to get that spot too. So if you got 3 Democrats, the primary is where you pick the one Democrat. The primary is a very important election. That's where you pick the guy you want to send up against the Republican. Okay. Understand something. When you go into the booth, know who the people are that are running for that spot. Don't do like we always do. Go to the booth and pick the guy that the Democratic Party told you to pick. Let's stop that. Let's nip that in the bud. Like Barney Fife used to say, nip it, nip it, nip it, nip it. Let's nip that in the bud, okay? That picking the guy that the Democratic Party says to pick. Okay? Let's stop that. Find out who these candidates are. Just look at a little bit of their background. And above all else, do a Google search to find out where they're getting their money from. I'm going to give you a spot right now, and I'm going to give you a candidate right now. Let me see if I can do this. Nope, I don't have it set up to do that. I'll tell you what. Write this down, okay? Write this down right here. This is Track APAC. This website is trackapac.com. TRACKAIPAC.com. Track APAC. That's the main one. That's the main one. You want to make sure your candidate is not getting money. When you pull up that website, there's spots on there you can click on. You can click on a spot that is your state. It'll say track representatives. Then you can pull up your state. And in my state, lo and behold, if I can find him here, there he goes. I'm going to attempt to show you this. That is Frank Mervan on Track APAC. Okay? The reason his face is on Track AIPAC is because he's getting money from AIPAC. He's getting money from Israel. Okay? AIPAC is paying the guy that is my representative right now. That's the reason his face is on that website. It says he got and it puts the names of the different ones down there. There's AIPAC, CityPAC, Jack, MDAC, TPO. These are the different PACs contributing to Frank Mervan. Israel Lobby. The Israel Lobby has kicked in $395,000. That's different Israel lobbyists that's been put in money. The political action groups have put in $100,000, and the lobbyists themselves have put in $294,000. That's important. Listen to this young man out of Illinois right quick. Listen to how he's doing it in Illinois and how he's getting the word out. This is what you have to do. This is what we need to do. When selecting our candidates, we're not taking the candidate that the party says take. We're done doing that. Okay? Now, it just so happens, I know the woman that's running against Frank this go round. That just happened to be turn out that way. And I'll tell you who that is. That is a woman by the name of Lavetta Sparks Wade. Lavetta Sparks Wade is running against Frank Mervan this go round in the primary. I will be voting for Lavetta. Now, this is the one thing I know that ain't happening is she not getting AIPAC money. That much I found out. She's not getting any AIPAC money. Now, understand. That's all I could find out, that there's no direct AIPAC money going. There could be money through another organization that was literally funded by AIPAC. I have not found that out yet. But as of right now, that is my candidate in the primary. Not Mr. Mervan. I know Frank Mervan. I literally walked the streets for canvassing for Frank Mervan his first term because he took Pete Vlaskovsky's position. I used to go and do campaigning for Pete Vlaskovsky. Frank took his place. But it's time out for the guy that the party says they want. Listen to this guy, this young man. I'm proud of this young man, and the guys he podcasts with, they some cool dudes. Now, they YNs, okay? So they do YN stuff on their podcast. They talk YN shit. Just understand that. But I'm proud of this dude. Check it out.
Why y'all thought a nigga named Dick wasn't about to fuck our shit?
It is currently March 15th, 2026, which means if you're like me and you live in Illinois and want to help unfuck our shit, we have 2 days to do so. Voting, especially for the Democratic Party, is not the end-all be-all, but it is very important, especially if you don't want to get to November and have to choose between worse and worser. So get the fuck up and go vote in these primaries. If you need help knowing who to vote for and against, I've paid attention to all these races, and I'm coming to you with endorsements. Not because I love political candidates or I love making political endorsements, but because the wealthy have dumped an inordinate amount of money into all these elections for one reason and one reason only: to distract you and weaponize the fact that all these candidates have the letter D next to their name in order to get you to pick the one who benefits them the most, not you. With all that being said, welcome to the very first edition of Who We Clearing. Starting with Illinois' 2nd Congressional District that covers these locations. Go look up what fucking district you live in. Who we're not clearing. Donna Miller. Why? Over $4 million in AIPAC funding. Who we are clearing. Robert James Peters. Now to Illinois' 3rd District, covering these locations, where I am clearing Delia Ramirez. Now for Illinois' 6th Congressional District, covering these locations, where I am clearing Joey Rusevich. Now for my district, Illinois 7th, covering these areas. Now there are so many candidates in this race and there's so many things to say, so let's begin with who we're not clearing. I'm not clearing Melissa Conyers-Irvin. Why? While our current representative, Danny Davis, has taken money from the pro-Israel lobby, he rejected that money at the end of his term. And in response, AIPAC has poured in millions into this race, including upwards of $3+ million that she's accepted from the pro-Israel lobby. That money and support has also come via super PACs that can't say that they're AIPAC, but definitely are AIPAC, like Elect Chicago Women. But we're not done, because who I'm also not clearing is Jason Friedman, for similar reasons. AIPAC. There are a few amazing candidates in this race, but I will clear 2 of them, being Keena Collins and Reed Showalter. They're both great candidates. I haven't fully decided who I'm voting for yet, but I like Reed's strong stance against corporate PAC money, and I like the fact that Keena has experience within the community, has ran before, so I wish the best for both of them. For the 8th Congressional District covering these areas, I'm not clearing Melissa Bean. Why AIPAC? I am clearing Junaid Ahmed.
Okay, you see how he set that up? Do you all see how effective that was? How he put that together? Okay. Now where I'm at, you know, there's only one district that is not Republican. Okay. There's only one district. Indiana has 9 representative districts. Okay. Remember, we were one of the states that Trump and J.D. Vance came and talked to the governor, and they were going to take literally all of the districts Republican. Okay. They was going to draw Frank Mervan right out of his district, or out of our district. And here's the funny thing. Trump and J.D. Vance and that administration threatened the Republicans so bad here in Indiana, they started getting threats against their lives if they didn't do what Trump said to do. To the point where they literally said, fuck you, we're not doing it. Just for that, we're not doing it. They pushed him so hard to the point where they rebelled against Trump. So, the 1st district is still the 1st district. That is the district that Frank Mervan is the representative for. And, it is what it is. So that's just, how it goes. But in this one district that we do have, this is it. There's another district down in Marion County, down in Indianapolis area, but 9 districts, 7 Republican, 2 Democrat. In District 1, where I am, I already see Frank is getting AIPAC money. That's an automatic disqualification. Now, if there's nobody, if she bails out of the race, I have no choice but to vote for Frank, because that little D, because if we don't vote for Frank, it'll be an R in that spot. We don't want an R in that spot. The point is, find out what district you are in and look up whether they're getting money from AIPAC and vote for the person that is not the person that the party wants you to vote for. We got to get these people that's taking this money. If you're taking money from AIPAC, you had to do what they tell you to do. This is why we sit around all day long wondering how come the Democrats ain't fighting hard as they could fight. That's why they're not fighting. Their pimps told them don't fight back. Them pimps told them don't fight. Don't fight it. Just take it. That's how important that is. Okay? That's why I had to get that out. I had to get that point out there today and, get that said because this is primary time and we got to get we got to get this situation at hand as far as this money is concerned. This money is messing us up. This is why we can't get anything done because we got Hakeem Jeffries. Let's take Hakeem Jeffries, for instance. Hakeem Jeffries is taking AIPAC money and putting it in his PAC. And his PAC is handing out money to Democrats that's running for different positions. Well, they may or may not know that the money they're getting is from AIPAC. Most times I'd say they know. But what if they don't know? Now, as soon as they win their position, here come Hakeem Jeffries patting them on the back. Hey, how's it going? You know that money I gave you? You know that money you used to win with? Well, I got some friends. They gave me that money and told me to give it to you. Look here, I need, we're going to have a little meeting later on. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, we don't need that kind of shit. Okay? All right. Just wanted to get that out there. Now, with my last little time, I'm going to jump off of that and go somewhere else on my last little time that I got here. About bugging out and bugging in when shit hit the fan. A friend of mine asked me, what if people can't bug out? If shit hit the fan and people can't bug out, what about the people that can't bug out? And when he said that, I said, maybe a lot of people didn't understand what I was saying when I was talking about bugging out in the first place. Okay, let's assume this administration takes some extraordinary move and incites martial law or incites some kind of civil war in the streets, some crazy emergency, some unimaginable emergency. Now, understand something right now. This country has never had anything that canceled the election. Okay? Let's get that straight off the bat. There has never been anything happen that canceled an election. They literally had the election during the Civil War. Back when we had a Civil War, they still had the election. Okay? So, them coming up with some reason to cancel the election, that's a no-go. All right. That said, what I'm about to say covers any emergency at all, especially the shit hit the fan emergency. That's SHTF. Okay? There are two conditions when shit hit the fan. When shit hits the fan, You could bug in or you could bug out. Bugging in means stay home, stay put, batten down the hatches, lock the doors, go down in the basement, and everything associated with that. Bugging out means you got that bag by the back door. You got to grab that bag and go. You got to get out of the house because shit done hit the fan so bad you got to get out of the house. Okay. Those are the two conditions. Now let's examine real life situation. Shit hits the fan, the first thing you want to do, be still. Bugging out is not number one. Check this out. I'm going to play a video. We're going to get some explanations and some what to do's and what not to do's, and we're going to talk about them after. Okay. Let's set this up. Check it out.
People think they know where to go when things get bad, but the wrong choice can be a death sentence. Here are 5 places you should never go when disaster strikes. Share this with others in case of a collapse. Number 1, big box stores and grocery stores. The second panic sets in, these places will become war zones as people fight over the last scraps. And once the shelves are empty, the looters take over. If you didn't stock up before the crisis, it's already too late. Number 2, hospitals. Sounds safe, right? Wrong. Hospitals will quickly be overwhelmed, and if the power's out, the staff will leave, and the infected and desperate people will turn the entire place into a nightmare. Unless you absolutely need medical care, stay far away. Number 3 would be highways and major roads. Your instinct is going to be to take the fastest route out of town, but that's exactly what everyone else is going to be thinking. Highways will become miles of gridlock, and once you're stuck, you're vulnerable. Stay off the main roads and plan alternate routes now. Number 4, police stations and military bases. When the collapse hits, don't assume that law enforcement will be able to help you. They'll be focused on their own survival. Many stations will go on lockdown and they'll turn people away. And if martial law is declared, you might not get out. Number 5, bridges and tunnels. Choke points become death traps. One accident or blocked car and you're stuck with nowhere to go. Worse, desperate or evil people will set up ambushes in these areas. If you need to cross, do it early before the chaos begins. Survival is about making smart choices before it's too late. Have a plan and stay ahead of the crowd.
Okay. That was some pretty important stuff to say. I'm going to follow up on some of that. When shit hits the fan, the first thing to do is stay put. Stay put. Because you do not want to be out there in the streets when shit hit the fan. Stay your ass at home. Okay? Don't run out to get shit, because if you didn't go get it already, it's too late. For those of you who haven't done any shopping and prepping and storing stuff away, go do it now so you got it. When the shit hit the fan, you're too late. Don't go down to the grocery store trying to get that shit paper and that Clorox bleach and that case of bottled water. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The same shit happened during the pandemic. During the pandemic, people ran down there and the shelves is empty. Only in this situation, it's going to be a different problem. When you run your ass down to that store and you look through the window and you see all them people just snatching shit and running out the door because it ain't nothing left and they just snatching whatever they can get their hands on. Guess what? It's some folks that need some shit that saw your car leave the driveway. And they at your house shopping for shit. Now, when you get home, you're going to be in bad shape. The new task force on fraud just got signed over office. They're going after You know what I mean? Omar for marrying her own brother. The Visa card. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hey, that's gonna be the latest sideshow. That's what that's gonna be, man. That's gonna be the latest sideshow. Like I was saying, don't run out to get nothing. Stay home. Take an inventory of everything you have. Okay? Take an inventory of everything you have. And don't forget to have your life insurance. Okay, let's talk about life insurance. Now, I made it a point to get this out there. I saw an ad today for those who want to know. You know, you can get body armor really cheap today. They're selling plates and plate carrier. A plate and a plate carrier is pretty cheap today. You can get them for a couple of $100. This is insurance just in case them lead pills start flying. Okay, I would suggest y'all go out and get something that will protect you in that situation. I'm not going to preach on that. I'm not going to preach on getting you a weapon. You know, if you don't have body armor right now and you don't have a weapon, you haven't been paying me any attention anyway on that issue, or you don't feel comfortable or safe with it. So, okay. There's no way I would be without some type of body armor. You can buy some level 3A stuff that's really soft, concealable. You can wear it under your clothes. Nobody hardly even know you got it. And it's pretty cheap these days. All right, enough said on that. Your goal is to protect your house. That's number one. Okay, when shit hit the fan, the only time you bug out, the only time you bug out, you leave your home with the intention to make it safely somewhere else. There's only one situation for that. That's if you are about to be overrun by a situation that you will have to retreat from. You have no alternative but to retreat from what's about to happen. Okay? Let's say it's martial law, and okay, let's take martial law. You stayed inside. The first thing you need to know, how are you going to find out that martial law has been called? You're going to be looking at TV, listening to the radio. Understand this right now. Go on Amazon and find you a radio that receives ham radio signals and GMRS radio signals. A walkie-talkie. Wednesday, I will give you an example of a walkie-talkie that qualifies for the situation. Because you want one of these radios for this reason. You're going to be hearing something on TV. Or you're going to be hearing something on your radio. That is going to be the news that the government wants you to hear. When you turn on that radio where you can listen to amateur radio and ham radio, or amateur radio is ham radio, but I mean ham or GMRS or the FRS. FRS is Family Radio Service. Ham is, these are the frequencies you're going to be listening to find out what the regular people who understand what to do when shit hit the fan. They're going to be talking on this shit. They're not going to be talking on the cell phones back and forth to each other. They're going to be trying to let you and me know what to do because shit done hit the fan. Wednesday when I come on, I'll have an example of one of these radios. I have a TID radio, TDH3. They got Baofeng's UV5s. These are inexpensive radios. You can get them on Amazon. I listen and talk. I do not have a ham radio license. Okay. I do have a GMRS license, but anybody can get one of those. I suggest you get one. Go on YouTube, look it up, and, also start looking up ham, how to communicate on ham. Understand you need a license to communicate on ham, but when the shit hit the fan, that license don't mean nothing. Okay, when the shit hit the fan, during normal times, if you communicate on ham radio, you better have the right call sign or they're going to dog you out. Okay? But when shit hit the fan, there ain't nobody going to be looking for that call sign because they know it's an emergency. And the only way you're going to get that call sign is if you got a ham radio license. So, but you need to have the radio so you can listen to certain frequencies to find out what's really happening. That's where you'll find the truth, okay? So, that's number one. Secure at home. Have you a way to communicate to find out what the truth is, what's really going down. That's the important stuff. If something happened where your arm hurt, your back hurt, my back hurt, pants too tight, booty shaking from left to right, don't run your ass down to the hospital. Don't go down to the doctor's office, down to the hospital. Okay? That's where the zombie's going to be. The zombie's going to be at the doctor's office and the hospital. Don't go get your brains ate out by a zombie. Okay? All right. Okay, now when they talk about don't get on the highways and the main streets and the shit like that, that's not the people that's bugging in. The people that's bugging in ain't on no streets nowhere. They in the house. You covering up your windows with wood planks. You covering up your doors. You reinforcing your shit so nobody can get in. Okay, that's what you want to do. And you want to take inventory of all your stuff. Make sure you got 1 gallon of water per person per day. 1 gallon of water per person per day. Enough food where you have 1,000 to 2,000 calories per day per person. Now, the range is 1,000 to 2,000 because that will cover the wide spectrum of individuals. That will cover males, females, fat guys, little chicks, little kids. That covers a wide range of individuals. I went roundy round with somebody. Well, what about women? Well, what about kids? Well, what about guys with 1 arm and 3 teeth? 1,000 calories to 2,000 calories per day covers the majority of people. That's the kind of food you need for the period of time you're going to be, bugging in and making sure you're safe. And that is per person. All of these are per person. So the number of people that you got in the house, that's the number of, food calories you need. Do the math. All right, now, that stuff about being on the highway, being on the streets, don't go down to the police station. Don't get scared and run down to the police station because you need to know what to do. When shit hit the fan, it's martial law, or they decide they need to come looking for people. Guess what? That's what they're going to tell you on the radio. The TV is going to tell you, report down to such and such station. This is your place to report. When they start this bullshit, they're going to be rounding people up to put you behind a fence so you can't fight in the fight. If shit hits the fan and there's a rebellion, they don't want you able to fight in the fight. So they're going to tell you, report down to the station. Go down to the police station. Don't go down to that police station. you won't be coming back. Okay? It's a good chance you'll be going to the Roach Motel. They check in, but they don't check out. All right? Don't go down there. And bridges and tunnels, of course you don't want to be on a bridge or under a tunnel. Fuck no. You know, under the tunnel is where the bad guys is. That's where the ogre is. The ogre is always under the tunnel. Okay? And the bridge, how many times have I have to tell you, stay off the damn bridges. A bridge is the most unsafe place it is in the world. I don't go on them shits during a regular day. Okay? All right. Now, as far as bugging out is concerned, understand something. I always advocate for a bug out bag at the door. I got a bug out bag at my door right now. I got a get home bag in the trunk of my car. Just in case I'm out and shit hits the fan while I'm away. I got a get home bag. It is a bug out bag that's meant to help me get home. Okay? Understand this one thing. When you go to making a bug out bag, if you have not taken the time to acquire the skills to do what you need to do once you get outside that door, you may as well unpack that bug out bag and put that shit back in the drawers and back on the shelves in your house. Because when you decide to bug out, you're going to be like that guy in Taken. I've acquired a certain set of skills. You need to acquire a certain set of skills before you ever think about bugging out. Okay? Because getting outside that door, you're going to be in deep shit out there. Okay? Don't go out there with your bug out bag and you got no skills to get along out there. I gotta say it. Gotta say it. Don't even think of bugging out if you have not taken the time to acquire the skills necessary to survive in the wild. It is wild out there. It is not friendly. It is untamed, and you on your own. And when you bug out, you got destinations that you've already charted. You've got intentions that you already got on your mind. You already got plans drawn, routes mapped out, ways to get to these places that are undercover, that you only know about. You got to do all this shit. You got to plot all of this shit long before you ever think about putting the bag together. Okay? All right. That's all I'm going to say on that. I didn't went over this hour. So what I'm going to do is follow up on this Wednesday, along with whatever other crazy shit comes up between now and then. I'm going to have an example of, maybe I'll grab one of my bags and have some examples of what's in some of my bags for those of you who are thinking about making a bug out bag. But before you even think about making that bag, you need to start acquiring skills. You need to acquire compass reading skills. You need to acquire fire making skills, tracking through the woods, getting through the woods. When you bug out, don't be on the street. You can't travel on the street. You got to travel trails and woods. Okay? You got to map that shit out long before you ever bug out. You got to know which direction you're going to go. You know? You got to pull them couple of planks out of your fence and have them loose so when you got to get out the door and run through the backyard, you can snatch them planks down and cut out. So we'll go through this again a little bit Wednesday, and discuss it a little bit more. So anyway, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, you too, Carmen. Stay safe. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I'll make sure I bring an example of a radio. If nothing else, I have a radio because everybody needs a radio that can tune into ham radio stations, because these are the people who are going to be saving your life if shit hits the fan. Okay? All right. Just so you know. Appreciate it. I will see y'all Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out with me. Excuse me. And take it easy.